Hello everyone. Today we're going to have the triangle inequality theorem, and this is the second part. I will put the link of the first part in the description box below. So again, triangle inequality theorem tells us that the sum of the lengths of any two sides of a triangle is greater than the length of the third side. This is explained in the first part, but this is what we remember. So if we are given three side lengths. So let's say, for example, I got 10. Side length 10. And then the other side length is 4. And then the other side length is 1. If we are given this three side lengths, we will not be able to create a triangle because the 1 is way too short that it does not get to the end of 4, and it will not be able to create a vertex. So there's no third vertex. So this is not possible to create. We can't create a triangle if we are given side lengths of 4, 10, and 1. So pretty much triangle inequality theorem is a test. This is one way to test if we're given three side lengths, are we going to be able to create a triangle or not? Now, this time around for part 2, what we do here is that we have to figure out what is this number that would work for this. So what are the possible numbers that we can have over here? Because if I have this number right here, 3, 5, and for example, I put 1 over here, 1 will not work. The reason is that if I add 3 plus 1 is 4, and 4 is not greater than 5. So 1 would not work. But if I put in 3 here, 3 plus 3 is 6, and 6 is greater than 5. And so 3 would work. But if I have 10 here, 10, it's not going to work. Because if I add 3 plus 5 is 8, and that is less than 10. So there's like a fixed set of numbers that would work, and that's what we need to determine. What are these numbers that would work here? Not all numbers would work. It's not infinite. So this is what we're going to do. It's pretty much the same thing as what we did on the first part. We're going to name this as x. So I'm just going to name this as x, because we don't know what it is. The numbers that we have on this blank is x. We don't know what it is. Now, we are going to find again, the rule is to add these two, and it should be greater than the third one. So, this is 3 plus 5. Let's just add it right away. So, 3 plus 5 is 8. So, we get an 8 should be greater than x. So, that's the first one. The second one right here, I'm going to add the 5 and x, and that should be greater than 3. So I'm going to add these two together. So again, I'll add these two. So I added those two. I'll add these two also. So that would be 5 plus x is greater than 3. That's the inequality for the last two. Now I'm going to write the inequality for this one right here. So what I would do is I will add 3. So that's addition right here. So 3 plus x should be greater than 5. So these are the three inequalities. Again, our task is to find what are the numbers that would work on the blank here. So the next thing that we're going to do is to simplify each of those. We find the intersection of these three inequalities. Let's start with x is greater than x. So 8 is greater than x can also be written as x is less than 8. So x is less than 8. And then let's take the second inequality. So the second inequality is 5 plus x is greater than 3. So we minus 5 from both sides, minus 5 here. So then we are able to come up with x is greater than -2. So this is the second inequality. And let's take the third inequality. So the third inequality down here, we have 3. 3 plus x is greater than 5. And so we subtract 3 from both sides, minus 3. So we can cross this out. So the third inequality, simplified inequality, would be x is greater than 5 minus 3 is 2. Okay, so this is the third inequality. The next thing that we are going to do is to find the intersection of these three inequalities. So what are we going to do is to draw the number line. So I'll draw the number line over here. So I'll start here with 0. So this is a 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a -2 down here. This is -2. And this is +2 right here. So I'm going to draw these inequalities into the number line here. So I'll start with the first one. The color is blue. So x is less than 8. So this means that it's an open circle. I go to the left because it says it's less than, anything less than 8. Now I'll have x is greater than -2. So x is greater than -2. So -2 is right here. It's an open circle. Anything greater than -2. So I'll go that way. And then the third one here in red is x is greater than 2. So then I go ahead and this is the 2 right here. So that's open circle. And then it goes all the way to infinity. Now, where is our solution? So the solution means that is where those are the numbers that would work for this. So the solutions are actually located here, because this is where the three lines are intersecting. So the three lines are intersecting at this point. In here, this would only work for the second and the first inequality. This one would only work for the second and third inequality. But this side right here would work for the first, second, and third inequality. That means that anything greater than 2 but less than 8 would work. That means 2.1 would work up to 7.9. Those are the numbers that would work. Now, I'll give you a trick. Now, there's a trick to this. The fastest way that we can determine is that once we add these two, 3 plus 5 is 8. And subtract these two, take the absolute value, that's the lower limit. 5 minus 3 is 2. So that should work. Now let's look at the example right here, and I'd like you to do the graph on your own, but we will determine just by using the trick that I give you from the previous problem. At this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and try this problem out on your own. And when you're done, unpause it and check your answer. Okay, let's go over this. Again, I hold you responsible in looking for the graph. You do the graph, you do the math. It's the same thing as what we did, but I'll give you the trick, the fastest way to do it. So the x here is actually it should be greater than, subtract these two. So that would be, take the absolute value. It should be greater than 3, but it should be less than 17. If you do the graph, it should fall within this. By the way, this is read as greater than. And this is read as less than. 3 does not work, but 3.1 would work. So 17 does not work because it has to be less than, unless there's a line underneath this. So this notation is read as x is greater than 3, x is less than 17. Did you get the same answer as this? Good. Perfect. If you find this video helpful, hit like and subscribe for more math videos. See ya!